Hi, Stoughton. This is Steve Cavey, Select Board Member for the Town of Stoughton. Today is April 27th, 2021. Just wanted to give you guys a brief update on what we discussed during tonight's meeting. Before I do, I want to just remind you guys that there's a couple of links down below in the description that might be useful. You can find a link to the full meeting via SMAC. You can find the agendas and also the minutes when they become available. And there's an anonymous suggestion box if there's anything you want to share, but you want to keep your identity to yourself. I respect that. Just drop a comment in there. I check it every couple of, like about once a week or so, every couple of days. But if you also, feel free to get in touch with me some other way. My phone number is on the town website, and you can send emails as well. So I will, let's go over this agenda. It was a very short meeting. I think it's not even 9 o'clock, and we completely finished open and executive session. So there's not too much to go into. I think it's kind of a light night. So we'll start off with citizen comments. There were a couple of statements made, and I think there was some helpful information from some of our neighbors. You might want to take a look at that. Select board comments. There were a number of comments made during that as well that might be useful. I gave kind of like a long speech, so I won't do it again here. But to make a long story short, I think that we have to put some serious attention into senior housing. I think that we are looking at some real problems if we don't. So now I'll leave it at that. But if you want to see the longer version of why I think that, you can check it out at the beginning of the meeting. And the town manager had a couple of comments as well. Always good to hear what's going on from hers. So check those out if you're interested. The first main part of the agenda was a traffic safety recommendation. Ultimately, Sergeant O'Connor, who's our safety officer, provided a brief presentation of some issues related to an intersection between Maplewood and Pinewood. And there's some obstructions that make it difficult for drivers to move safely through that intersection. So though he did provide some recommendations, ultimately we're going to be reviewing this again in a public hearing so that neighbors and homeowners in general can people who travel through that area are given the opportunity to speak on it. So there were no votes. We're just going to revisit that one. Next item was a change of manager for Nazar's Restaurant, doing business as the Chateau Restaurant at 1165 Park Street. So change of managers in this case. Not very controversial, but we were provided with a good amount of information, all the information that was required. All the town departments checked it out themselves. Police, fire, I think our treasurer collector, Board of Health, all gave a sign off on this. So ultimately the board approved that unanimously. That change of manager. We then covered the consent agenda, the consent agenda was rather large today, so I'm going to read through it. There were some comments made to help clarify at least one of these. I think one. So item D, when you get there, if you're interested, check out that section of the meeting to get more insight about it. Oh, sorry, it was item E, D and E. Okay, so in this case, we have item A, approve payroll and bill warrants and any other documents to come before the meeting. Item B, approve lease renewal for J&G Hillside Grill, 1873 Park Street, which is the Cedar Hill concessionaire. Item C, approve invoice number 9 in the amount of $20,298 for disbursement to be made from the CPA housing account under the COVID-19 Emergency Housing Fund Program. Item D, approve agreements between Town of Stoughton and the local 1512 International Association of Firefighters, AFL-CIO. This is effective July 1st through July 1st, 2019 through June 30th, 2020, and also a second agreement effective July 1st, 2020 through July 30th, 2023. I think these have both been voted on by town meeting and are now just being authorized or approved. Item E, authorize town staff to consider grant applications for A, positive Stoughton grant, B, T-Mobile grant. These were requested by, the addition of these in the consent agenda was requested by Select Board's Vice Chair, Deborah Roberts, and she did give a summarization of what this all meant. So check it out if you want to hear more about those. And then item F, approve open session minutes from 3/23 and 4/13, 2021. So we voted the consent agenda. It was unanimous. We approved it. And so the last item on the open session was to authorize the town manager to sign the traffic control agreement for the Safe Routes to School project. This was presented by Mark Tisdale, our town engineer, also the executive director of development services. And we've gone through presentations, numerous presentations on this, and ultimately we just needed to provide this authorization for the town manager, and that was unanimous as well. We voted for it. Last item on the agenda is executive session. Wasn't much on there. I'll read it though. Probably just reading this is probably going to take longer than the actual meeting took. But item A, to discuss strategy with respect to collective bargaining with the fire union, patrol union, police supervisors union, DPW union, dispatch union, professional administrative union, library union, town hall associates pursuant to general law, chapter 30A, section 21A3. And then item B, approve executive session minutes of 3/23/2021. That was our meeting for tonight. So I will leave you at that. It was a short one. I think the open session lasted, maybe an hour and 15 minutes. So if you don't often watch these meetings and because they're long, and you want to give one a try, like maybe this is maybe this will get you hooked. Anyway, so thank you again for the opportunity to serve as a select board member. It's a really awesome way to help out my community. It feels great doing the work that we're doing, and I really can't thank you enough for offering me that opportunity. Be well, everyone. Take your vitamins, get your shots, and the vaccines that are currently available are pretty awesome. So it'll be good for you and the people around you that you care about. Be well, and I will see you guys again in a couple of weeks. I think we're going to be off for a while because of town meeting, which is starting next week. But we might meet up. I think there might be a potential meeting next week on Wednesday. So if that happens, then you'll see me again sooner. But otherwise, it might take a little while. But be well, everyone, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.